We are all lazy. We want to do the minimal amount to get the maximum reward. And this has served us great over the last 10,000 years, but not so much right now. Our brains always choose the path of least resistance. Going into the fridge and getting some junk food out is so easy. Sitting down and watching some TV on your sofa is so easy. However, our caveman brain doesn't want to do the difficult thing. It doesn't really want to go to the gym and waste loads of energy. It doesn't really want to sit down and read a book and think about what we're doing. And in this video, we're going to look at how we can change our environment, our room, our bathroom, our workplace, in order to better fit what we want to do. The supermarket has a perfect example of design. They've spent millions of pounds researching this. The items they want you to buy are the items that require the minimal effort from yourself to reach, which will be the middle shelf. Items at the very bottom are out of your view line and require the effort from yourself to reach down. So these will be the cheap and less profitable items. And then the aisle and checkout counters are reserved for impulse purchases. So, you have already designed a lot of your life and your environments around you. You've already designed what your bedroom is like, you've designed what your living room is like, what your desk space is like. You have designed all of this with certain things in mind. Normally, it's how easy it is to do what you want to do. We love to think we make all our own decisions. However, it's our environment that is making most of the decisions for us. If you entered your living room and it was a chair and a book and you decided to read, you would think that was your decision. If you entered your living room and there was a sofa and a television and you decided to watch TV, you would think that's your decision. However, we both know that is the environment that you set up in the past that has decided what you will do today. The problem is you have designed your workspace to be as easy as possible. Your sofa is in the best spot in the living room. It's positioned facing the TV. You have a TV remote within arm's reach of where you are. Everything has been positioned to make things very, very easy. So now for the really interesting part. When you enter your living room, you have a sofa and a TV, and you have a book in a drawer and a wooden chair over there in the corner somewhere. What are you going to do? 9 times out of 10, you're going to choose to sit down and watch TV. The path of least resistance. Now, if we want to start reading more, there's 2 things we could do for this scenario. 1, we can make the path of resistance a lot lower for reading a book. Let's get that book, move it out of the drawer and put it in a very convenient place. Remove one of the obstacles from reading the book. 2, we can make it more difficult to do the easy thing. So it's very easy to sit on the sofa and watch TV. What if we move the remote somewhere? What if we change the sofa position? What if we move the TV somewhere else? What if the mains power switched off so we can't use the remote? There's so many different ways we can add more layers of resistance in order to make that a more difficult choice. So right now, as you're sitting down, think, what can you make easier to do? And what things should you make more difficult to do? If you're enjoying this video or you're getting any value, please hit that like button, and I'd love it if you'd also subscribe. So now that we understand why our environment is so important to us, I'm going to help you out by giving you 5 examples on how you can improve your environment in order to improve your nutrition. If you'd like to hear about some other environments you can improve, such as your gym or your bedtime routine, leave a comment below and I'll consider making a video on that in the future. Tip number 1, only have healthy food on display. I'm talking apples, I'm talking oranges, I'm talking nuts, and maybe some carrots. We're making it so simple just to grab some healthy food with minimal effort. Tip 2, don't have unhealthy food in your house. Now, when you're in your house and you feel like drinking a Coke and there's nothing in your fridge, you'll need to go and walk 2 miles down the road in order to buy that drink. And if you do, fair enough, you probably deserve it. But if you didn't, you are now going to be drinking water instead. Everybody has a finite amount of willpower, and if your environment it's not helping you, trust me, within a few hours or a few days or a few months, it will all be gone. Your environment should be supporting you. Willpower should be used for other occasions, which I'll explain at the end of the video. Tip 3, make sure your fridge is full of cold water that's easy to drink. You can put them in the glass or in a bottle. Make sure you can grab it and drink and take it away. Tip number 4, get rid of all your bad cooking equipment or put it in the attic. Now, every time you want to cook a pizza or you want to fry some bacon, you will now have to walk up those stairs, get the equipment out, add in an extra barrier and making you less likely to cook unhealthily. Tip number 5, there's a disaster. 12 Krispy Kreme donuts have been delivered to your door by accident and you now have to keep them in your house. As a last resort, if you do have unhealthy food in your house, make sure again it's difficult to access. Put it on the very top shelf, make it so you need a ladder to get to, put it right at the bottom somewhere, make sure it's out of sight. I'm gonna give you a bonus number 6 just because you guys are amazing. Prepare your food in advance. Make sure your fridge is stocked full of food that you could easily eat. Food that you could just microwave when you're feeling lazy or eat straight out of the Tupperware. Make sure you do not give yourself an excuse to buy an unhealthy takeaway. I've just given you some very powerful principles. Certain things you should be making more difficult and certain things you should be making more easy in your life. And you need to apply these principles to areas that you want to change in your life. Perfect, all your environments are now amazing. They cater for what you need. However, the issue is when you go out into that big bad world, it is not. When you go to those supermarkets, when you go to the fast food restaurants, when you're walking down the high street, they have all been catered to do the opposite of what you want to do. And that's where your willpower comes in. But now, hopefully, because all of your internal environments are so perfectly set up, you will now have ounces of willpower in order to resist the temptation of doing what these shops want you to do. Please, please, please hit that like button and I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Now, have a look around your room. What should you be changing?